Oh, it's very serious, and as a matter of fact, Europe's already approaching the deepest economic crisis that it has experienced since the end of the Second World War. Listen, inflation is going through the roof. In general, the inflation within the EU, in parts of the EU, such as in the Baltic countries, we're looking at 20% and above. The energy crisis is going to make things even worse. And one of the things that surprises me is that the leadership of the EU in Brussels is talking about putting a price cap on oil come this December, then in the beginning of next year, which is sure to make to turbocharge what is already a massive crisis. This is part of the problem when in some parts of the EU leadership and in some of the EU countries, you have activists running things instead of professional economists and sane politicians. You know, all of this makes European support for Ukraine that much more difficult. They didn't plan for this, obviously. Remember, there was a lot of talk at the beginning of the war in Ukraine that, you know, the Americans are going to come in with an armada of LNG tankers. Then the Saudis were going to come in, then Qatar and the UAE. Then there was all sorts of talk about Azerbaijan, by the way, then Nigeria. None of this has worked out because there is simply no replacement for Russian gas. And even if by some miracle there were an LNG replacement, it would be very, very expensive.
Right.
There's something that Europeans sort of tend to forget, unfortunately, which is that it was cheap Soviet and Russian gas that in large part contributed to Europe's remarkable economic growth from the 70s on.
Yeah.
And those days of cheap Russian energy sources looks like they're at an end.